will you condemn Louis Farrakhan's comments saying that Judaism is a dirty religion?
You know, sir, I thought I was coming here to talk about immigration policy.
That was a layup question, by the way.
No. I thought I was talking about immigration policy. I didn't know that we were going to be talking about all these matters. I mean, I'm reluctant to just sort of, I mean, we already had one thing where we didn't mention immigration policy at all. I'm fine with you asking about questions around asylum and things like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. But now we're going off in all kind of different directions. I think there should be some scope to this hearing. And so thank you for your interest. And we both share a need to condemn anti-Semitism.
A few of my colleagues have gone over time, Mr. Chairman. So I find it disgusting that we would have a witness who's the Attorney General of the state that will not condemn the fact that somebody said that Judaism is a dirty religion. The fact that we have a witness of that low caliber here before the United States Congress is an insult to this institution. Do you think that people who are here in this country illegally, meaning they either entered illegally or overstayed a visa, should be deported? Yes, simple yes or no?
The rule of law, yes.
Mr. Ellison?
Do they have an asylum petition pending?
You get your microphone.
If they have a pending asylum petition, I think it should be heard. If they have some basis for their presence in the country, I think ordinary due process should take place.
Yeah, it's just from my perspective, simple. I'm not a big shot lawyer like you. Just a quick question. If you enter the country illegally or you overstay a visa, should you be deported?
My simple answer is, sir, it depends.
Okay, so if somebody breaks into your home, should they be arrested for breaking and entering, or does it depend?
It's an entirely different scenario.
How's that?
Because immigration is essentially a civil, and the breaking into my home is a criminal matter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So if there's laws that should be enforced, so we shouldn't enforce civil violations?
We absolutely should enforce them.
But you just said that it's a civil matter, so it's different. So if somebody
you enforce civil matters.
So if somebody commits a civil infraction, it shouldn't be enforced?
It should be.
Okay, so they should be deported.
No, they should have due process that is associated with their petition. So,
okay,
for example,
so the act of entering the country illegally, you think we should say, well, did you really do it or not do it? It's pretty obvious that they did, right?
Well, I mean, it would depend on the facts of the situation, and then they might say,
I just gave you the facts.
Right,
they entered the country without permission.
But Senator, what if they had a good faith basis to say they would be persecuted in their home country and subjected to real oppression there under international law? There are provisions for them to make a case.
That's a phenomenal point. Mexico and Canada, do you consider those to be safe countries or no?
Generally, I do, but there are certain
generally you do?
Well, I mean, I would just say this.
You border Canada. Don't insult your neighbors to the north.
No, I love my neighbors to the north.
Well, so is it a generally safe country?
Generally, yes.
So then somebody seeking asylum could certainly be safe in Canada and Mexico, no?
Now, so like if somebody, we do know that in Mexico, which is another country I truly admire and think it's a wonderful country, but there have been cases of persecution, people who have legitimate fear.
People aren't safe in Mexico? Refugees cannot be safe in Mexico?
Some might not be. And I think, and what I'm saying,
maybe
Senator,
we shouldn't have a free trade agreement with them then.
I didn't say that, but what I would say, Senator, is that we should hear their petition.
Gotcha.
We should at least hear it out. We should say, is there a well-founded and legitimate fear of persecution in your home country?
That can't happen in Mexico?
Well, I think that she should just follow the international protocols that existed. And
it is, which is that you seek asylum in your nearest country that you are seeking asylum in. But it sounds to me that your answer is no. Mr. Schnell?
Senator, if I were to answer yes or no, it would be misleading. And I think ultimately it does boil down to due process. It
actually is pretty staggering that the easiest question that I could possibly ask is confusing for the two of you. I mean, that's decently disgusting, and I'm going to tell you why from my perspective. I wasn't born in this country. My mom and dad had to follow the rules to bring me and my 6 siblings into the United States, and I find it disgusting that the two of you guys want to reward people who skip the line, pay drug cartel members to smuggle them across the border, are coached to say exactly the right words when they hit Border Patrol. And by the way, the people who do that, the people who are from my neck of the woods, from South and Latin America, get abused, get raped, get held at gunpoint because people like you say, oh, it's okay, maybe we'll allow them into the country, when we should have a very simple policy, which is you can't enter our country illegally and you can't overstay your visa. The fact that the two of you are top law enforcement people in your state and you can't simply say, hey, violating a civil or criminal offense is a problem is probably the origin of why we have these issues. Let's move on for something else. Mr. Ellison, as the Attorney General of the state of Ohio, I'm sorry, the state of Minnesota, you would never get elected in Ohio. Who's Victoria Harwell? Because you haven't said her name. I'm just curious who she is.
Is there a question you'd like to ask me?
Yeah, who is she?
As I understand it, she's a very unfortunate, tragic victim of a crime.
Okay, and what have you done about it?
Well, in Minnesota, sir, I prosecute crimes that are...
What have you done for Victoria Harwell?
I'm telling you about my jurisdiction.
I'm just telling you what you've done for Victoria Harwell.
I'm telling you about my jurisdiction.
No, but I didn't ask you a question about your jurisdiction. If I did, you could answer that one, but I haven't. So just tell me about Victoria Harwell. Just tell me what maybe the answer is nothing, which is fine. Just tell me what you've done for Victoria Harwell.
We have done everything that the law allows us to do.
Okay. And she's an American citizen, right?
I assume so, yes.
You haven't even bothered to look into who she is?
No, sir. What I'm telling you is that I don't know, what her nationality is. It doesn't mean I don't know anything. It means I don't know that.
Well, thank you for your concern for the Harwell family. It's obviously pretty sad that the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota has not even bothered to understand who she is. And you haven't mentioned her in her testimony, but you certainly know who Renee Good and Alex Preddy are.
I do.
Yeah, so obviously your priorities are clearly obvious. Tell me about Temple Israel. What happened there?
Well, my dear friend of mine is the lead rabbi at Temple Israel.
Could you just answer my question, please?
Well, a lot of things happen there. Do you have something in mind you'd like to bring up?
Yeah, any particular incidents happen of anti-Semitism?
Well, there have been acts of anti-Semitism there.
What have you done about it?
Of which I oppose vigorously. We've supported local law enforcement in doing the right thing in those communities. Let me tell you, you're asking me about a place I know a lot about. I've been to Temple Israel an untold number of times, and so if they ever have any security concerns, that is a concern of mine. And absolutely.
So what have you actually done differently to help fight anti-Semitism in Minnesota?
I speak against anti-Semitism. I condemn it as repugnant and wrong.
Let's pause there. You speak against anti-Semitism. Will you condemn Louis Farrakhan's comments saying that Judaism is a dirty religion?
You know, sir, I thought I was coming here to talk about immigration policy.
That was a layup question, by the way.
No. I thought I was talking about immigration policy. I didn't know that we were going to be talking about all these matters. I'm reluctant to just sort of, we already had one thing where we didn't mention immigration policy at all. I'm fine with you asking about questions around asylum and things like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. But now we're going off in all kind of different directions. I think there should be some scope to this hearing. And so thank you for your interest. And we both share a need to condemn anti-Semitism.
A few of my colleagues have gone over time, Mr. Chairman. So I find it disgusting that we would have a witness who's the Attorney General of a state that will not condemn the fact that somebody said that Judaism is a dirty religion. The fact that we have a witness of that low caliber here before the United States Congress is an insult to this institution.
I'd like to put a finer point on one of the things you asked, too, because the responses were that they say, well, due process hadn't been completed. Let's say due process is completed. There is a final order. But the person isn't accused of any crime. Their only crime is being in the country illegally, as Senator Moreno did. Mr. Schnell, would you advise the Minneapolis police to assist in a final order? Their only crime is that they're in the country illegally.
Senator, if there is a judicial order, absolutely, we should comply.
Attorney General Ellison.
Certainly.
Okay, see, I think that's unclear. Not maybe from Mr. Schnell's point of view, but I think from the edicts and things coming down, I don't think it is clear. People have the feeling that you don't want any cooperation with ICE on someone who's here in the country illegally. So I think as we look at this, if we're Democrats and we only say, oh, it's ICE, 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 and we don't say, well, that the cooperation had anything to do with it, and I'm not saying it justifies any kind of bad behavior, but I really haven't gotten the feeling, and I know it's been contentious, but I haven't gotten the feeling that you're willing to accept some responsibility for the lack of cooperation escalating this problem.
Can I respond, Senator? Before Operation Metro Surge, ICE was operating, legally and in a cooperative way in the state of Minnesota. People may not like the way they were operating, but they were operating legally and with cooperation. It is this dramatic escalation that has caused so much problem. And so you're recommending that I try to be more clear. I will certainly take that to heart, sir, but this surge is, in fact, a very serious issue.
And it's not without criticism. I'm just saying that there is the sense in the country and in Minnesota that you wouldn't want, that you're so opposed to deporting someone just for deporting them that you don't want anybody to enforce it, that you don't want the police to be involved with this. And so I think it is necessary, if you do believe the police should cooperate, to say publicly the police of Minneapolis will cooperate, and it's going to be the way we're going to get to less ICE here, by having 10 police officers go with one ICE agent to arrest people, but that you're for that. And I can't tell you what to say. I'm just saying I want less tensions. I don't want more people to be, unjustifiably injured or killed. So it's a thought. And I'm sorry I interrupted, Senator Ernst.